Hey everybody, it's your boy Nitro Penguin coming at you with another video. For this one, I was playing ranked with a friend and he was having a hard time on tank, and I kept telling him to be more aggressive, but that's kind of vague and hard to conceptualize. So I got on tank myself, played a really good game on Blizzard World, and now I'm going to walk you guys through that so maybe you can pick up a few things from it. And granted, I'm not a tank main, so there's probably some things I did wrong and could do better, but anyways, enjoy this video and let me know if you learned anything.
Head.
Bro, this is so easy, bro. What do you mean? Well, I had all these babies.
Okay guys, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to break down important engagements and what I'm thinking and what I'm doing as the game's progressing. And then afterwards I'm going to let you see it in real time so you can see how things kind of flow naturally. Alright, so here I use charge straight out the gate because it's not an ability I'm going to overuse and it's something I can afford to waste right now. This is the single most hazardous ability to yourself because a lot of Ryans will use it and it puts them in a position where they can get punished really badly, and you go from being either a hero and getting a kill or feeding consistently just because of charge. So this is not an ability you really want to overuse. Turn the first corner, what do we see? Widow. So now we relay this information to our team and they should know. Squishies, either play behind me or play behind cover, but do not peek or you're going to get your head blown off. Here you're going to see me playing without my shield for a little bit and just taking damage openly. The reason for this is one, my shield was destroyed, so it needed to be recharged anyways. And two, after seeing their team comp, there's nothing with a high burst potential that's going to bring me down. So I can take all this chip damage, it's going to give my healers charge for their ult, and I'm not going to die. So here, the Reinhardt charged and missed. As a Reinhardt, it's my job to counter charge that, so I messed up in that regard. But luckily none of my teammates were hurt because of it. And he was in a position where I really could have punished him. Unfortunately, I'm not really good with the Reinhardt hitbox and I missed the charge there. Then after that, I can swing freely at this Reinhardt because a lot of Reinhardts in this position will just keep their shield up forever for absolutely no reason. So here I do a lot of damage, I build up my ult a lot, and then afterwards I see them get antied and I really go in on that. Because if you see somebody's purple, please swing at them. And then the rest of this fight is just cleanup work, so enjoy.
You have a widow far back. Give that.
Widow's gonna fuck me, I already know it.
Good guy. Fuck.
You get up there, they have a widow log.
Oh fuck. Nice. Come on, bro.
Push.
I'm going right.
Got these slow? I got sniped. Fucking shit.
Bro, who has gold damage? That's right. Your boy. Bro, don't worry, run around, get out and kill some devil. Bro, oh no.
Okay, so bit of a spoiler alert here. I go for a flank shatter and I get it off. The reason I go for this is because at this point I can see a rectangle that's part of his shield, but I don't see any part of Reinhardt's actual body. Which, as Reinhardt myself, I figure if I can't see him, he can't see me. So I go left and go for the flank shatter. So at a higher tier of play, I would have done this a little bit differently. I would have jumped off the ledge, pressed Q, and landed with my ult, as opposed to jumping off and landing and then ulting. Because when you land, as Reinhardt, you make a lot of sound. So at a higher tier, a Reinhardt would have been able to listen to that, react, and put a shield up, and the shadow would have failed. But since this is a lower tier, I know this guy's probably not going to react in time and I can get away with this, and I do. Something else I noticed while editing this video is that the McCree actually stuns the Reinhardt right when I go to ult. So maybe that tipped the scales in my favor, maybe it didn't, but regardless, this was nice shatter.
Does he have one healer?
Guys, I'm gonna go for a flank shatter. Move the payload. Bro! 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 That was hot! This tank shit is easy.
Dude, what is the Pharah doing?
Trying not to get hit by Widow. Fairy should probably get behind my shield because Widow's gonna shoot you. She's behind that sign right there with the Omnic on her. Reinhardt's gonna get shattered.
Good push. Oh my god, no.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, what a fucking wave.
Man point, Hog, you win this. Yes!
McCree, get on point.
Go left side here.
Shouldn't Anna play on point?
Go left side, bro. What are you doing?
Oh.
Shortcut.
So at this point, the enemy team has overextended, and I am fully intention on punishing them. So I go in with a charge, and I would have got it on the Reinhardt had it not been for a Lucio boop that was perfectly timed. So kudos to that guy. But right after, the Reinhardt charges and misses again, and he's once again in a really vulnerable position where we can punish, and my Ana gets a sleep off on him. Now this part I messed up in because the smarter play would have been to wait 2 seconds where I would have had my charge back up. I charge him and then I swing away, and the kill's a lot faster and more secure, but this still worked out in our favor. So I don't know if he panicked or if he was going for some huge play, but this Reinhardt shattered my supports. But because I'm here, they were in no danger at any point. He's already half health. There's nobody from his team that's nearby him. So this is really just a wasted ult, and this man is feeding, and it's great for us.
Come on, I am
It's fine. You respond right there. Oh, bro. Look this right now. He's behind.
Is he behind? Oh my god. No.
You're laughing. Don't worry about it. Let's go. Don't waste it all. Hey, Farah, I need you to get on the high ground right there. Get ready for your ult.
Some things to note going into this third point. Right here on the right side, there's a McCree that is consistently a problem and isn't really dealt with for a long time. This should really be on the Hog or the DPS. You want your off tank or your DPS to go over there, duel the McCree, and either make him move or kill him. So spoiler alert, I went for another flank shatter. Now, if you see the kill feed, my Pharah and my McCree are dead to the Diva bomb. If I had stayed on cart, maybe I could have shielded the McCree from it. I don't know what the, Pharah's position was at this point, so I can't really say on her part. And that's something for me to improve on in the future, but this flank shatter more than makes up for it, I suppose. So at this point, everything was going smooth and we were cleaning up, but once the McCree comes up and joins the Reinhardt to fight me at this point, I'm severely at a disadvantage, and I almost killed them both, but they just needed that one more hit to get through it, and I couldn't get it off. With the Reinhardt being such a slow character, you want to use charge to get you back into the fight as soon as possible, but you do have to know the mechanics of it. Here I messed it up, not really knowing how to control it too well, so I slammed into a wall. And I did this one more time before learning from my mistake and correcting it, which you should be looking to do. So here is Reinhardt. You can't really do much against flankers or people that are shooting at off angles. It's really on your DPS or your off tank to go handle those engagements. And because that's not happening, this McCree got a lot of value. This moment's just very unlucky, but it was kind of funny. He happened to wake up from the sleep Ana hit him with right at the perfect time to stun me, and then his Reaper also came up from behind and they finished me off together.
Don't worry, my friend. I have your shield.
We're gonna flank shatter again. Get ready, boys.
That's all of them. Come on, baby. Reaper's inside. Easy.
Bro, Reinhardt looks out. McCree and they're both one. They're both one. Throw a damage orb. Throw a damage orb.
I don't
Throw
have
a damage
it.
orb.
It's recharging. It's recharging. There we go. We
Bro.
go. It's fine.
Yes.
That's even better because now they're split.
Can you heal? Can you heal? Oh
Keep
my
this dude alive. I tried.
Yeah, I know. The amount of damage.
You doing alright?
You buffed up.
Man, you guys are behind.
Don't come in and y'all.
Hey, come back.
Oh,
There's a
bro.
Reaper. Oh, I got pinned. I'm lucky.
Bro, he woke up at the right time in the stun. That's so fucking stupid.
I'm gonna shoot just how far they push. Come on.
Hey, Pharaoh, can you swap off to something that McCree doesn't counter?
So I'm going to try to get through this part fast because it's kind of a mess, but their Reinhardt shatters my team before I'm out of spawn. Their team is severely overextended. Their Reaper ults, I go for a charge on him and miss. Their team is still poking at me. Their Lucio really tries to finish me off, but some heals come in at the last second. And at that point, the Lucio is overextended and he cannot make it out. And then eventually we fight a little bit and I feed.
Oh wow.
Alright. Oh my god, I got finished. I got behind the shield too. It's so annoying. Oh, nice McCree. Can you come back. Got lucky there. Hopefully lost fight for Lucio.
Let's go, I'm gonna shatter. It's gonna be fat. Come for this
Go, go,
McCree,
go.
he's right side.
Get the Reaper.
You don't know.
Oh my
Dude,
god, how
how?
does he do that much fucking damage? That's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, on a Ryan. That's ass.
So this time I tried charging out the left side, but again I don't know the Reinhardt angles and his body type that well, so I messed it up again. So here the fight might be lost a little bit already, but there's been a trade-off on both sides and it might be salvageable. So I decided to feed a little bit. And the reason I charge here is because I want their attention while the fight's still going on. So if they hear me and turn around, I'm fine with that. Regardless, if I walk slow, they're going to turn around and see me anyways. So better to do it while my teammates are still around a little bit, and that helps me get off the shatter. So even though I got the shatter off, it wasn't a very high value one. I messed up the fire strike as well. So in this regard, listen to my friend, and he says maybe you should have waited and saved that a little bit, and he's absolutely right on that. But then I finally get this exit right, so who's the real winner?
Fuck bro, I'm bad at coming out as Ryan.
Oh my god. No, I don't have fucking. Damn it! I didn't have a fade. I got ult though. Are you... Let me know when you shatter so I can ult. I'm not there yet though.
There, you have free shot there.
Maybe you should wait.
There's one. Yeah. They have no healers. Push hard.
One's down.
Bro, come on, pop off. User's low. You guys know Wraith.
Oh, come on.
Back up a little bit.
Come on. How is D.Va that strong? Come on.
Nice.
I got four golds.
Not damage.
Not
Who has that one?
Not Ryan, dude.
Come on, bro. It's easy. You just gotta be aggressive. So this isn't necessarily part of the guide, but it helps around in all of your games. If you're gonna ask somebody to get off of what they're playing, try to be nice. Sometimes it makes them actually change it, sometimes it doesn't, but always worth trying at least.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers in.
No thanks, no.
Together we will not fail.
So the thing to really pay attention to here is the geography of the map. It's a very long and straight path, and it's a high density area, so a lot of players cross it. This is the perfect time to fire strike. I get 2 off and instantly I'm at 30%. So then again, the enemy Reinhardt feeds. Do not charge if it's not necessary to cancel another Reinhardt's charge, or if it's not something short and secure. You don't want to do these long charges that leave you really exposed and can be punished really hard. So here, even though I get antied, because this Rein's feeding, he has to get out of here. He has to keep his shield up, so I can swing away even though I am antied. Then I wait for the effects of that to wear off, and then I can keep swinging and closing the distance, and in doing this, I get both the Ana and the Reinhardt. So by the time this fight is over, I have my ult.
Good, then you get me.
Nice, bro. That was a good fire strike. Another good one. She's at 500. Gotta recharge a little bit.
What? There, my orb. That's right. That's your answer. Bad deals are good. Genji behind.
Bro, easy.
I don't know where the fuck Genji is at.
You see how I already have my fucking ult, bro?
So before this next fight even starts, we're down both DPS. McCree was severely out of position, so he got punished. Farah, unluckily, I went to fire strike and she just happened to get domed the instant my shield went down. This can happen, and generally as Reinhardt, you kind of want to let your DPS and your supports know when your shield's going to drop so they can get some cover beforehand, but aside from that, there's not much that could have been done there. Then everybody's favorite Reinhardt charges again and misses again. And this time, even if he had gotten one of my supports or somebody in the back line, I don't care because he left his whole team exposed for a free shatter.
So here we go, here's the conflict.
Touch from afar.
Hey, McCree, you should probably play behind my shield. Hog back up a bit, I can ult him.
Oh, we lost both our DPS.
Nice.
Get ready, I'm gonna hold a second.
Let's go. Let's go. Aggressive, baby. Nice. Big.
Watching your back.
Big, 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 big. Dude, let me get solar damage. Don't worry, I'll carry you.
Oh, I still have gold damage.
Dude, he straight up said retarded. It's cancer time. I got ult, so it's like I'm around this corner with popping off.
Yeah, but right now it's gonna have shot here.
Dude, look at it.
So at the start of this fight, I immediately pooped my pants because their Reinhardt got nanoed, and I kind of forgot our team had an Ana too and she had an Ana ready for me. But at this point, I'm at a disadvantage to that Reinhardt. And he chooses to charge, which I cancel the charge, but regardless, I'm at a disadvantage if he's nanoed. So I'm a little bit scared here. A second later, our Ana hits me with her nano, and she also hits a huge anti-nade. And for a second, I was still in defensive mode because I thought he had a huge advantage. But once I processed everything that happened, I immediately started swinging away and pressing W. So this is one of the few instances where I will use charge freely. This is at the end of a fight. There's only a D.Va and an Ana left. I still have a Moira with me. I can charge freely here knowing that pretty much no scenario am I going to end up dead. Unless I get slept and D.Va does D.Va bomb. But that's very unlikely and they're probably not coordinated enough to do that at this point.
I'll play back.
Good anti. Back again.
Break. She's one. Oh, she's the one. She's in the room. Yeah, I got her.
Nice.
Fuck you, baby.
And he's literally 1 HP.
I got him. Nice call.
Bro, I have ult again.
Come back.
My ultimate is ready.
Pushing.
Guys, watch this. This is gonna be hot. So I set up for another flank shatter, and again, I don't know if this will work in higher tiers, because usually at a higher tier, the other Reinhardt would be aware that they're not seeing me on the screen as they're walking to this point, and they're gonna be on the lookout for me on the left or the right. This guy, however, was super unaware, so this was really easy to get off. Then once again, this is just cleanup work, so I go ahead and charge in and brawl it out with the Brig. Even if she's ulting, I have my supports here. She doesn't have enough damage to get rid of me, so I can swing away all I want. The other thing with this Brig brawl is that because of her ult, she's a lot more sustainable, so I can swing away at her a lot, and it gives me a lot of ult charge. So I get close to another shatter by the time she backs off. So then as the reinforcements are coming in, the Ana antis me, and it's a very good anti, and I react to it a little bit slow, but just in time so that I can get behind my shield and get healed up before re-engaging the enemy. I want to highlight this charge cancel in particular because at the time that Reinhardt charged, I couldn't really see him because my hog was blocking the screen, but I still heard the sound cue that Reinhardt does before charging, and this let me know to counter charge. Then the last big play of this game is our hog hooking the Reinhardt out of shatter. I do believe he would have gotten it off behind me due to how close he was, but not a scenario we really have to deal with at this point because we got saved.
I'm staying with it.
Back up. I'm gonna let him ult.
Oh, big.
Bro, I got swept.
Oh no, I'm stuck.
Bro, I'm telling you, ride's easy.
For you. Oh, come back.
Nah, bro.
Come on, leave us one. Break. Hold it, you're
I'm low as fuck.
Oh, you're good. I got ult again.
Yeah, I'm close to.
I got silver damage. Oh, I
Nice.
Come on, get you low.
Bro, I'm nuts on Ryan. That's a video too, bro. That's a YouTube video right there, bro.
40 elims, 16 objectives, 11.5k healing.
Well, that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends as well. And be tuned for more content coming soon. Thank you, guys.
So broken. Because it's so easy, it's so much damage and healing.
Bro, I don't think I can make a more direct video on how to be aggressive with Ryan.